Okay, guys, I want to finish up the telemarketing presentation. Had to stop early the last class, just a little bit to talk about now. You'll recall that we were going through the 4 kinds of telemarketing. There's inbound, B2B, B2C, which is really mostly about customer service, but with some 800 numbers, also customers calling in new customers to place orders. It's all about being nice to people and delivering service, right? Not just cutting costs, but trying to deliver a wow factor to service folks. Then we've got outbound. Now we're going to talk about outbound B2B and then outbound B2C. Outbound B2B is important. It's called filling the hole in the bucket with new customers. And any business that wants to succeed has to do it. And it's called cold calling. I actually, every salesperson pretty much hates cold calling. Because, why? Because it opens us up to rejection. People slamming the phone down, saying, why the hell are you calling me? It's like that old door-to-door salesman that we talked about beginning of this presentation. You know, getting the door slammed in his face. It's hard. You have to have a bit of a thick skin. The average business has a 20% customer attrition rate. There they go, heading out, heading away from home. So you've got to plug the holes with service, but you've also got to put more water in the top, because there are always going to be a few holes. There's always going to be some attrition, no matter what. Cold calling is weak. Eventually you're really just not going to be in business. You've got to have new business if you're in the B2B space. You just do. I did consulting and presenting on cold calling. I've done a lot of cold calling in my career. I've done a lot of work in sales, done a lot of work in business development. And I had a whole deck I used to deliver to sales forces that I knew and that I worked with, talking about what you had to do to be successful in cold calling. By the way, it's not just the calling, of course. It's also using LinkedIn to reach out to people. It's using email to reach out to people. Rarely using text or the personal mobile phone to cold call people. That's sort of out of bounds. Here's a sample calling script that you might pay an outside telemarketing service to do. This is the kind of, some people will outsource with an outbound B2B telemarketing service to set up meetings for the salespeople to go in and talk about things. I have tried it. I'm not a big believer in it. I think ultimately any company you hire just is not going to know enough about your business to be persuasive and get that meeting. And outbound cold calling really is mostly about just getting a hearing, just getting a meeting, just getting 10 minutes of a person's time to tell them what you do. It's not about trying to get a contract signed. So there's a script. Here's another one. Okay, you can see. Would you be interested in knowing how we could benefit your company? Right, so you can share it now, or we can book an appointment. Here's another cold call. I just thought I'd throw up a few cold calling scripts. So these are all pretty much B2B. Right. Introduction, connecting statement, reason for calling, qualifying, and then the ask. This is one way to move somebody in a B2B sense through a telemarketing script. The hard thing is to get somebody on the phone, frankly. And a big thing with B2B cold calling telemarketing is you're rarely going to get a decision maker on the phone, but anytime you get anybody on the phone, even if it's an assistant or a junior person in the department, you can find out more about the situation. You can get their help in booking a meeting with the important person. The main thing is when you get somebody on the phone, do something with it. Outbound B2C is robo-dialing, etc. Even robo-dialing, by the way, or automatic dialing, computer dialing is okay with political polling and some kinds of research. This is how pollsters do their research, for political polls. All listed telephone numbers in the country, unless you're on a do not call list. They want random samples. They know women and older people are more likely to answer the phone. Political pollsters often ask to speak to the member of the House with the most recent birthday. Interesting, to try to randomize the sample so you don't just get women and older people to talk to. Okay. Now the stuff that isn't so legal. Oh, God, he is scary. I hate to say, he is Pennywise. You are scary. Here's a funny cartoon from Roz Chast, who's my favorite cartoonist in the New Yorker magazine. Behold the horror of the ringing landline. Ring, ring, ring. Forget it. Probably some stupid telemarketer. Why is that plastic thing making all that noise? That is so invasive. Invasive. Tending to spread prolifically and undesirably or harmfully, especially of an action or sensation, tending to intrude on a person's thoughts or privacy. Oh dear. This is just some coaching for people who might be doing B2C, outbound telemarketing. People, when they pick up the phone, who are you? Why are you calling me? How do I actually benefit? What are you asking for? And they do use scripts, folks, that do this. Look at this. 96% chance of being turned down, these folks. Okay, I'm going to stop now. I've got to do something here for my department, and then I'll come back and finish.